welcome back to another episode of the Sistah Talk podcast. I'm your host, Gold Chain Diva. And I'm just a sister who always has a lot to talk about. And as long as we got social media and the internet and celebrities, we always going to have something to talk about. So your sister has been having an amazing week. This past week, it's been a little busy for your sister. Had a lot of different events going on, celebrated the graduation of one of my siblings. I have several siblings. So, my baby, not the first sister that made me a big sister, but the second sister who made me a big sister. She graduated this year, and so I couldn't be more proud of her for, reaching that achievement. So we went to go celebrate her. It was cool being back at my alma mater after 15 years. Just seeing, nothing changed. It all looks the same. Some familiar faces still in the crowd. So we went there, celebrated her. So that was fun. And then the following day, we ended up going down to Baltimore because, as you all know, I have family in Baltimore. We went to a funeral to celebrate the life of one of my aunts that passed away recently, and just honor her and just honor her legacy and pay our respects to her, and just let her know that she will never be forgotten, and she will definitely always be missed. It's always a bittersweet situation when we go to events such as those, just because we get to see family members that we don't get to see often, which is always a good thing. You get to sit around and reminisce and all of those great things. But it's just like, it sucks that the reason that we have to come together. So, family, we got to do a little bit better. I know it's harder as we all get older because we all just have things that we want to do, things that we have going on, kids to take care of, all types of things. So I know it gets harder, but family, we got to do better because I haven't seen some of y'all in over 10 years. And I'm just like, wow, it's been a minute. But it was nice to see everybody, cut up a little bit, joke, laugh, just reminisce. That's always a good thing. The many stories that my family would tell if I put them in front of this microphone. Maybe one day. I'm not gonna make no promises, but just like that, I'm not gonna keep y'all waiting. It's time to spill the tea. Look, pinkies up for the classy babes, okay? Pinkies up, always pinkies up. Now, in trending news this week, okay? This may not come to a surprise, come as a surprise to most of you, but I think maybe it came as a little surprise to me that our ex-president / currently running presidential candidate Trump has been convicted of felony charges. I think that we all feel like justice was served, Twitter has been eating this up. It's been hashtag lock him up, okay, lock him up. They want to see him behind bars real bad. I've heard people say, don't drop the soap, my guy. Don't drop the soap. Even with this being said, so let me just give y'all a little bit of the backstory of what's going on here. So Trump was, like I said, he was found guilty of all 34 charges against him. Now, the trial involved charges that Trump falsified business records to cover up a hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels is a porn actor who said that she had sex with Trump while he was married in 2006. The payment amount was $130,000, and it came from Trump's former lawyer and personal fixer. That's how they try to get away with it, y'all, calling him a personal fixer. Michael Cohen. Basically, he bought Daniel's silence during the final weeks of the 2016 race, and what prosecutors are alleging was an effort to interfere with the election. When Cohen was reimbursed, the payments were recorded as legal expenses, which prosecutors said was an unlawful attempt to mask the true purpose of the transaction. And Trump's lawyers contended that they were legitimate payments for legal services, and he also denied that the sexual encounters and the lawyers argued at the trial that his celebrity status made him a extortation target. Listen, they are crazy as I don't know what. They crazy as I don't know what. They trying to find all reasons not to lock this man up, okay? Not to lock him up. And it's just so wild to me because I'm just like, how much more ludicrous does he have to be? How much more of a ding dong? Look, I want to call him something else, but I'm going to be respectful. How much more of a fool, an idiot, like that's a bigot does he have to be before we say, okay, that's a little bit too much here. That's a little bit too much here. Somebody sent me a video on TikTok, just, detailing, I guess, some of the reactions of people once they found out this news. And like, they always say that they prey on the ignorant. Okay. They prey on the ignorant because the ignorant don't know no better. Well, we know most of Trump's main supporters are very, very ignorant, okay?
We're angry, but we're also happy in a way. Because you know what? My president's got street credit now. Now he's really got street credit. He's been convicted of 34 counts. And you know what? There's a lot of people out there in the streets that were convicted too. So now you can relate to President Trump.
These people are running around in the streets talking about, well, my president has street cred now. If you don't shut up, talk about street cred, like, so it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it. Yeah. I ain't gonna finish that line because we want all the smoke this week, okay? We want all the smoke. We want y'all to keep that same energy. Keep the same energy. At this point, the argument really is, why is it a certain standard for certain people, but certain people don't get the same standard? And when I say this, I mean, it's no doubt, we all know that at astronomical rates, our people get locked up for less and get felony charges and then come home and can't get jobs and can't get certifications and can't do this and can't do that because they have a felony on their record. But why is it that this man thinks that even though he has been found guilty on 34 charges against him, why does he think that he'll still get a slap on the wrist and that, oh, it won't affect the election? They're still going to vote for me. The audacity. And then y'all wonder why in this country we feel like we have less opportunities, while we still feel like racism is alive and well. But you all keep saying that it's not. But it's clear that some of us have a little bit more privilege than others. Let's just do a little bit of a recap. Trump's political career has endured 2 impeachments, allegations of sexual abuse, investigations into everything from potential ties to Russia to plotting to overturn an election, and personally salacious storylines, including the emergence of a recording in which he boasted about grabbing a woman's genitals. Why are you still trying to support this man and support his antics? I don't get it. At this point, we need to hold him accountable just the same way that we would hold anybody else accountable, because it's not fair. At this point, it's like you all are making a mockery of the United States, judicial system, presidential elections, our democracy. You all are making a mockery of our government at this moment. I'm pretty sure all the rest of these countries are looking at us like, what do they got going on? Like, what are y'all doing? Looking crazy. Like, I need y'all to get it together and quickly. Because at this point, it's like you all want to rally and tell people, oh, go out and vote. But who the hell are we voting for at this point? So if this man does end up in jail, which he probably won't, if he does end up in jail, then we still got to deal with dementia. I meant Joe Biden. Sorry. I meant Joe Biden. My bad, y'all. We still got to deal with Joe Biden. So it's like y'all playing in our face at this point. Y'all playing in our face at this point. The crazy thing about this whole situation is, yes, justice has been served in some capacity, but the crazy part about it is this man still has several other local and federal cases in Atlanta and Washington alleging that he conspired to overturn the 2020 election, as well as a federal indictment in Florida charging him with illegally hoarding top secret records and bogged down by delays or appeals. So basically what that means is the things that they basically took the easiest jab at him, the one charge that they thought was stick. They took that and was like, you know what, this is a step forward. But now the bigger charges that he could possibly see, jail time for, they're basically doing everything that they could do to hold that up until after the election. I promise you that if this man as a felon gets to serve in the greatest position in our country, I will lose the rest of the little bit of hope that I have in humanity. And number two is I just won't take anything seriously anymore. If we allow him to hold that position after becoming a felon, we need to make it whereas everybody else in this country has the same rights, the same opportunities. We need to lessen some of the controls around some of these felons and allow them an opportunity at a second chance, which is the second chances they promised that them while they're still institutionalized. So we need to make it a reality that some of these people that are rehabbed, they say, hey, you go to jail, and for a period of time, we rehab you, put you back out into society so you can be an upstanding member of society. If that is true, if we're going to stand beside that and keep that same energy, if he gets to sit in a presidential office after being a felon, we need to look at our basis of all the laws that we have at this point and reevaluate. That's all I got to say about that. Now, the second thing I plan to tell you all about, I have to talk about this. It's not a laughing matter at all. It's not a laughing matter at all because we talked about Diddy. I hate to keep bringing his name back up, but we talked about Diddy and we talked about everything that he's going through. And a lot of people are saying, like, with that situation, well, black people are so, eager to just throw a black man up under the bus. Well, I try to be a little unbiased. I try to be unbiased as much as possible. So therefore, I was very surprised when we saw Shia LaBeouf. Now, y'all know who Shia LaBeouf is. Even Stevens, Holes. He was like Disney Channel's golden boy of the 90s. When we were growing up, it was not one thing that Shia LaBeouf did not have his hands on, okay? So we know who Shia LaBeouf is. He recently made an appearance on a red carpet. And our boy cleaned up very well, okay? Because the glow up was glowing, okay? I looked at him, I was like, ooh, Shia. I was like, Shia, you looking good. Listen, the Vanilla Baby's been putting on, okay? I'm going to keep saying this because, listen, I'm trying to put this in the atmosphere. Maybe my Vanilla Baby is waiting on me, okay? But he was looking good. He was looking clean, tailored. He was looking well. Everybody was excited because we hadn't seen him in a long time, right? Well, TikTok investigators, they always do what they supposed to do. They always waiting at the door. It came out. They were like, well, how y'all going to praise this man up and down and make all this fuss about him coming back out into the scene? But he's an abuser. That's the punchline. We hadn't heard a thing about it. Not like I personally haven't. Like, we knew that he had blow ups in the media and things of that nature where he just became unhinged. We knew that. We saw, him fall apart. But I don't recall ever, like, the energy that they're putting behind Diddy and telling his story and condemning him in the media. I have not gotten that from Shia, okay? Because this information was completely new news to me. Shia LaBeouf has been dealing with several domestic abuse situations. Now, the one particularly that I'm going to focus on is a lawsuit between himself and his ex-girlfriend, FKA Twigs. FKA Twigs is a musician from like Europe or something like that. Not really too familiar with who she is, but the two started dating, after a film that they were working on together, and they dated for about a year. And basically, she accused him of sexual battery, assault, and infliction. And this was back in 2021. They put it off so long to the point where now this trial is supposedly, provided that they don't push it back any longer, it's supposed to be seen in October 14th. Now, let me tell you something. Cameron said, "Oh, the allegations were egregious." Well, these allegations are egregious, okay? We got to see it with Diddy. We don't know what we'll get to see as far as this, Shia LaBeouf situation. But just to give you background and, use your imagination, basically the lawsuit details an alleged instance where Shia knowingly gave FKA Twigs, or I'm gonna just call her Twigs, a sexually transmitted disease, along with other claims that the actor, would grab her to the point of bruising. He kept a loaded gun on his bedside, causing Twigs to fear going to the bathroom at night, and tried to choke her multiple times. She also accused the actor of attacking her at a gas station and attempting to strangle her. Now, if that's not enough, right? She also accused him of knowingly infecting her with an STD, which I already said, and also she witnessed him shoot several stray dogs with a gun to get into his character for the film The Tax Collector. Now, this is wild to me. She said that she went on to say in other interviews, he would only, and these are her words, he would only want me to sleep naked because he said if I didn't, then I was keeping myself from him. Now, I personally, domestic abuse, whether it be a woman abusing a man or a man abusing a woman, it's not something that needs to be taken lightly at all. But when we hear about domestic abuse, a lot of it is obviously the control factor of it. And so several victims of, sexual abuse and domestic abuse say that their partner does things like that, make them sleep naked, and, basically when they want you, you gotta, do what they say or whatever. And so, it's not uncommon. We've heard about this. And she even goes on to say that it's a tactic that a lot of abusers use. It's just this constant availability and everything centered around them. And I think that's why I wanted to come out and talk about this. She held on to this information for a while. She said she actually didn't even really want to bring it to the forefront. She wanted to settle out of court, settle quietly, help him save face. But no surprise, Shia did the same thing that Diddy did. Basically said, no. And so she proceeded with the lawsuit. He basically tried to say that it didn't happen, and because she wasn't doing it the way that he wanted her to do it. So she had to take matters into her own hands and file this lawsuit. But eventually he did acknowledge the allegations. Eventually he did. I believe that, we talked a lot about this with Diddy situation. We talked about how, his lawyers and his publicists and, they all do damage control and things of that nature. So we know that people have a team. And so I believe that his team was like, buddy, do you really want to go down this road? I think we need to try to take a little bit of accountability. I don't know what kind of, clicked in his mind. But basically, Shia around that time was dealing with alcoholism very badly. And so Basically, he acknowledged the allegations in a New York Times article within the same year that the lawsuit happened, and basically said, "I have no excuses for my alcoholism or aggression. Only rational. Ugh, Lord have mercy. Look, that's a word, honey. Golly. Only rationalizations," he said. "I have been abusive to myself and everyone around me for years. I have a history of hurting the people closest to me. I'm ashamed of that history, and I am sorry to those that I hurt. There is nothing else that I can really say." He also, in another interview, basically said that, with the Me Too movement, he didn't see many men actually owning up and taking accountability for their actions. And so he says that, he felt as though he had to take accountability for it. He then also recently, within the last year or so, went on a podcast and opened up way more than he ever had about this situation. And he says that, this is his words: "I effed up real bad. I like crash and burn type shit. I hurt a lot of people, and I'm fully aware of that, and I'm going to owe for the rest of my life." He later said that he has a long list of people that he needed to make amends with. During the interview, he admitted to cheating on every woman he ever been with and never telling his sexual partners about getting colds. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Listen, he said he never told his sexual partners about getting cold sores, and he acknowledged it as manipulative. Sir. And that's his easy way of saying, "I gave you herpes." Listen, read between the lines. He gave them women herpes and didn't even tell them. He also discussed that he was in a better headspace now, saying that when the allegations first went public, he wanted to hit Twitter and be like, "Look, I got receipts," without naming her. He added that his accuser is a saint, and save my effing life. So basically, he's trying to save the narrative of the story. Basically saying that, when it first happened, he wanted to get even. But now he's trying to change the narrative of the story. And basically, he thanks Twigs for bringing it to the forefront and making him acknowledge his fault, because I think he feels like it was a moment that pulled him out of a very dark place. It kind of let him know how far he had gotten. And just to let you know, like, how serious these allegations are, he also had, like I said, other domestic situations with his ex-girlfriend, Carolyn Foe, who was also his stylist. She made claims against him, accusing him of physical and emotional abuse, which includes an allegation that the actor began headbutting her after drunkenly pinning her to the bed. It's unfortunate that this man, kind of lashed out in that way, and really put these women through emotional distress, like emotional trauma, things that they'll have to heal from, things that, they'll remember forever. So I hope that, he's very serious about taking accountability for his actions, and he is remorseful. I hope that he does not go forward and hurt any other women. And most importantly, I just hope that he gets better. Listen, I'm gonna keep the same energy that I kept with Diddy. He's too old, too grown, too rich to not be investing in bettering himself. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's all I got for that situation. So at the end of the day, the purpose of telling you all about this situation was not only to bring awareness to these men not being able to control their actions, but I wanted to let y'all know I'm unbiased. I'm going to keep the same energy. Filth is filth. Now it's time to give somebody their props, okay? We're going to change the tone. We're going to change the tone, okay? We want to give somebody their props. Listen, what sound we going to give them? Give somebody their props. I think that's the one. we're going to give somebody their props, okay? The person that we're going to give their props to is a rapper named T-Rell. He was signed and he's performed many times with Mo 3 that passed away. But the reason why we're going to talk about this rapper is because this rapper has a good heart. The reason why I want to give him his props is because he deserves a media platform to shout him out and bring positive energy to what it is that he's doing in his community, okay? Well, the reason why this sparked me and the reason why I wanted to give him his props is because I caught wind of it because I follow him on TikTok, I follow him on Instagram, and I saw him make a video saying that a well-known platform, Baller Alert, posted a post saying, let's settle it. Is he wrong for gifting these kids shoes from Walmart? And rightfully so, it pissed him off because this man went to Walmart, right? Went to Walmart. Anybody who follows T-Rell knows that his big thing that he does, even with his success and the money that he has made so far in the industry, this man prides himself on going to Walmart and putting the drip together, putting that shit on, okay? Putting it on regardless. He prides himself on putting it on. He goes into Walmart often, picks up outfits, and he's like, look, it's not the clothes, it's the man, baby, okay? And I agree, because he be looking fly. And that's how I feel about my life. I don't necessarily have to wear a label. It's about how I put it together. Y'all gonna think I paid, you know, I'm gonna look like money regardless. So that's what he does. He goes into Walmart. He does that for himself often. But this one particular time, recently, he goes into Walmart and, you know, he fills up his cart. When I say, look, running over, okay, big piles of shoes. Any shoe you could think of, slides, dress shoes, sneakers, whatever. He fills his cart up, right? He shows a total. The total, I want to say, was maybe a little less than $1,000 or whatever. And he even makes the parallel of, hey, I could have bought one pair, Balenciagas or something like that for myself. But what I just did for these children who don't even have shoes, I mean, I was able to serve so many others. And so you could tell this man has a huge heart. This is not the first time that he's done this. This is something that he's been doing for 5 consecutive years, okay? He's done this in his community for 5 consecutive years. His community knows who he is. They know that he's a person who comes back and gives back. Not only does he give back shoes, he gives back food, he gives away toys, he gives items that the community needs, okay? He wants to pay homage to the city that made him who he is. And so with that being said, recently this man was recognized and honored by the state of Topeka, Kansas. He was honored by their mayor, and basically they announced that May 26th was T-Rell Day officially. Okay, we want to say congratulations to this young man on being persistent, being diligent, being a good steward of his resources. You know, God blessed him and he sees fit to go back and bless others. And I think that is an amazing story to tell. It's ridiculous and it's disgusting that these platforms, maybe they didn't think that they were doing anything wrong. A lot of the times, you know, media platforms like to pose questions to the community, but I don't know if they've realized how much damage that that question would cause. I think that they wanted to create a discussion about it, but there's really no discussion for real. Like, you should have congratulated that man, and that should have been that. Listen, the man goes on. When I tell you he created a video on TikTok, he went on a rant. He was just like, look, I did what I could with what I had. If you want something different, go in your pockets and do it yourself, okay? Do it. Because I did what I could do. But I don't see none of the rest of y'all standing up and doing a daggone thing. And I stand beside him, okay? I'm giving him all his props because I think that what he was trying to do for the community was an amazing thing. He said even on the day that they do the donations and everything, kids were showing up without shoes on their feet. He was like, if the pavement is hot or if it's cold, what type of would you rather not have no what, like, a shoe is a shoe. And I agree with him. I think that at the end of the day, when you are a person in need, and these new age bums is different. These new age bums is different. You got people who, you try to give them some food and they be like, oh no, that's not enough. So we all seen it. But most people who are in need, who are good people and they want to, make something of themselves and make something out of their situation, they are grateful for whatever it is that they can get to help them survive another day. So like I said, round of applause for this man again. I want to give him his props and let him know that we see him and we see what he was trying to do and we stand behind it, okay? No bad words about it. No bad words at all. Great vibes. So the next thing I want to talk about, and I'm not going to do too much on this person, okay? I'm not going to do too much. Because kids are typically off limits. We don't want to discourage the youth, no matter how privileged they are. But I'm going to give a hot minute to Northwest, okay? The reason why we got to give a hot minute to Northwest, and I'm going to try not to do the most. I'm going to try to be an adult and just look at the situation from a, subjective point of view. But the reason why we're going to give Northwest a hot minute is because of her Lion King performance, okay? Now, I don't know if you all seen this Lion King performance, but it was in honor of the 30th anniversary of Lion King, and it was actually, at the Hollywood Bowl. She was brought out on stage by Jason Weaver. Now, Jason Weaver, we know who Jason Weaver is. And if you don't know who Jason Weaver is, you better find out, okay? Because I saw people in the comments like, where the heck he been at? First of all, he's been on Sistah. Okay, he been working, so not too much of my man. He's still in Hollywood doing his thing. But Jason Weaver, most popularly known for his roles in ATL as Teddy. He was most known for his role as the young Michael Jackson in the Michael Jackson story. Most known as young Simba. I'm gonna be a mighty king. Listen, he was the first voice, the only voice that we remember of the young Lion King. So it was only right that they brought him out to pay tribute to young Northwest. Now, Northwest is 10 years old. The first time we got to see Northwest perform was when she said, I'm your bestie, Miss Westie. They bigged that track up something terrible. So y'all want to big this track up, right? But then y'all got a problem with her performance on Lion King? Make it make sense. Anyway, the fuss is about the fact that Jason Weaver did this amazing introduction. We're ready. We hyped up. We like, all right. Northwest walks out on the stage. She's respectfully, she's pitchy. And the most notable thing is this yellow Big Bird looking outfit she got on.
Only 10 years old, and she's here to perform I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Please welcome the brilliant Northwest. Let's go. Woo!
Everybody's like, what's going on here? Because, the rest of the cast has on traditional, like tribal, safari looking type outfits, which traditionally is tied to Lion King Productions. So why is sis out here with an oversized hoodie looking like Big Bird with some slippers on? Well, I did my research. I did my research. Listen, obviously, everybody's upset because they're now calling this girl a Nepo baby. And for those who don't know what Nepo mean, Nepo is short for nepotism. And nepotism has been live and real for many years. That means when I come up, I'm putting my family on. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. I believe in nepotism. I believe that black people need to get better about it because that's why we don't have nothing. We don't have no legacy because we don't want to give nothing to nobody. But that's another story for another day. But nepotism is alive and well. We know it exists. But everybody's calling this girl a Nepo baby. And I agree. There's allegedly stories going around on the internet that because her parents are Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, they were able to pull some strings. Now, the reason why they say they pull some strings is because according to Daily Mail, the production company that produced the Kardashians also produced this production. So they already had ties to Kim Kardashian. And not only did they have ties to Kim Kardashian, the Hollywood Bowl has connection to Kanye West because of his involvement in past Hollywood Bowls. Okay. So now we see the connection. Now we see how, okay, they're plugged in. Rightfully so. Listen, as a celebrity's child, I'm not saying I'm a celebrity's child because I know what that sounds like, but a celebrity's child, I would think that their upbringing looks a little different than the norm. I believe if my parents had the opportunity to do this for me, they would have done it for me too. Her parents are who they are. She can't be penalized for that. I think what we need to see is, this girl is a 10-year-old child. She's a child. So regardless of whether you feel like her talent was there or not, that's you should have just thought it. Look, you were thinking it, but you shouldn't have said it. Okay. Should have kept that to yourself. We all were really thinking it. We really all were thinking it. Especially because there were several other talented young people who had auditioned for this role and basically got wiped out because allegedly the Kardashian West family paid $1 million to get their child on the stage. I would be pissed off too, because you got to think about this. Theater children take it seriously. Theater children take vocal lessons. Theater children take dance lessons. They eat, sleep, breathe this. So I know those children work very, very, very hard just for somebody to say, hey, boom, we just going to put her on the stage because of who she is. And we got to fill these seats. And that's the debate that's going around as well, because they're like, these productions bring in big names to fill seats. So I get it. I feel as though they gave her the main role when they probably shouldn't have. But hey, I'm not the one making a decision. Who the hell am I? So I don't know. But they gave her this role and they probably should have gave her a supporting role or something. Still, put her name on the Jumbotron and everything, but just gave her a lesser position, unless somebody who was more trained. It's something to be said about the situation, because it's like, okay, I know that she's 10 years old, but your parents, and specifically Kanye West, your parent is a musical genius. And so I believe that, he instills certain values in his children. And I feel as though what they should have done before they putting her on this main scale, especially because she's showing interest in music at this point, they should have probably tried to get her a couple vocal lessons, just try to instill a little bit of work ethic in her rather than just throwing her up there like it was a talent show. So I think it was a little distasteful just because of that. But getting back to this yellow Big Bird outfit that she had on, Kanye West had parts in that as well. Apparently, this is allegedly, because I don't know, allegedly Kim Kardashian and Kanye West had an issue with the scantily clad outfit that, they proposed that she wear initially. They said it was skimpy. He said his daughter wasn't going to wear something that was revealing like that, Now, we know that Kanye West has always wanted his children to be modest. He's always spoken out about what his children would be allowed to post on social media. So we know how he feels about it. So apparently, it's not uncommon that a person, would collaborate with the stylist of the show, especially being that big ticket name. It's not uncommon that they would communicate with them and collaborate with them and come to some type of consensus on it. But I think the problem is that they didn't have no consensus. It was a dictation, okay? It was a dictation. I just feel as though they could have had their thoughts about this outfit, right? I'm well aware I'm past a minute on this one, but they could have had their thoughts about this outfit, right? And felt as though it was scantily clad or it was revealing or whatever the case may be. I get it. But at least make it cohesive with the rest of the production. Because I don't give a damn if Yeezy did it or not. It didn't look like it was like it didn't look expensive. It didn't look like it looked like cheap. I feel like the look cheapened the whole show. She could have y'all could have did a little bit better than that. Y'all could have did a little bit better than that. Y'all threw a hoodie on this girl, threw some yellow feathers around it like it was a damn mane, and threw some damn slippers on her like she had paws, and that was supposed to be just that, and we wasn't supposed to say nothing about it. I'm done. I'm done. Listen, I'm done because I can't be nice about it no more. I don't want to say nothing. It's a child. It's off limits. Give your thoughts down in the comments about this situation because I'm very curious to know how, if you saw this video, and I'll probably play a little clip for you all, give you a little clip. But if you saw this video, how did you feel about it? Like, how did you feel about it? Is it okay that, nepotism works this way? Is it okay? I don't know. Give me your thoughts. I'm down to hear it. Now, speaking of mascots, because that's what Northwest was walking around looking like. Oops, sorry. Oops, sorry. I said I was done. I wasn't done. I had to get it out my system. Speaking of mascots, because that's what she looked like. Speaking of mascots, I want to talk about something, okay? This is the interactive portion of this show. This is the interactive portion of the show, okay? So I want y'all to leave a little comment, down and beneath here, okay? Before you click off of this video, leave a comment. I'm going to talk about mascots gone wild, okay? We've seen lately within the past, 5 years or so, we've seen this growing trend of people booking, Doc McStuffins, Spider-Man, Mickey Mouse, any of those popular characters that your children typically watch on TV. We've seen this growing trend of people booking those for their children's events, which sounds innocent. But over the years, it went from make an appearance to make it clap. Okay? These mascots are showing up and making it bounce. Okay? Watch the video. Okay? So, after watching said video, how do you feel? The argument in the comments is because this particular company, so the company that I showed you all is based in Louisiana. Now, a lot of people know about the bounce culture in Louisiana. They twerk and, Big Frida and all that stuff. So we know the bounce culture is real there. So the argument is, okay, this is a part of their culture. It's normalized, whatever. I can see that, but I think it's a stretch. Where it lost me, where I drew the line, was when the little thing bent over and was twerking, and the parent encouraged this little boy to slap the butt. Little boy looked like he was no larger than maybe, I don't know, 2, 3. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. It made me feel uncomfortable. If we're gonna talk about, these little girls who took these braids out of their teacher's hair and talk about how inappropriate that was, we gotta talk about how inappropriate these mascots are. It's one thing, for Spider-Man to do the jerk. It's one thing for Dora the Explorer to hit the nay-nay. But when Doc McStuffins start busting it open for a real one, it's a problem. Is this a kid's party or is this a parent's shindig? Okay. We hear jokes all the time about, people throwing kids parties and then to be really a party for the grown folk. I think we need to separate the two. I think we need to separate the two. What are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts? Like I said, I want y'all, this is the interactive portion. Leave a comment below. Let me know how you feel about it. Where do we draw the lines with these mascots? Where do we draw the line? Would you be okay with excuse me. Would you be okay with Gracie from Gracie's Corner busting it open and popping it and throwing it and splitting it? And would you be okay with that at your kid's party? Listen, and if you feel that way, stand on it. Just let me know in the comments. That's all I got to say about that. I don't have children yet, but I'll tell you what, they won't be seeing Cinderella popping, locking, and dropping it. For me in my house, we serve the Lord. We serve the Lord. It won't be none of the foolishness. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. I meant to do this in the beginning of the video because a lot of you all were telling me that you all are having issues with accessing the YouTube. Because a lot of you all and some, and if you are the child of one of your, the parents that watch my podcast, please educate your parents on how to use YouTube. And I mean that respectfully. I did not know that it was such a large learning curve between technology when it comes to the generations and things of that nature. And so I want to let you all know that when you see me post a link on my page, whether it be Facebook, so Facebook, if you see me post a link and it goes directly to YouTube, click that link. It'll open up the video directly. I try to make it as easy as possible for you all to tune in. Secondly, when I post on my stories, if you see me post a link that says full episode, watch now, or something of that nature, click that link in my story. It'll take you directly to the video. Okay. Now, the furthermore is a lot of you are having issues with learning how to subscribe and, turn on the notifications and things of that nature. Go to when you pull up the video, right? I'm going to try to do this as best I can. When you pull up the video, right? Well, I'm going to try to turn it sideways so I can make it big. No, I can't do it that way. All right. You see my head right here where you see my face and it says Tierra Arrington. If you click on that name, it'll open up my channel. When you get to my channel, right, it's like a TV guide, okay? You see along the top, it says home, videos, da-da-da-da-da. If you click on videos, right, it'll open up every last video that I have. It'll show you in order which episode came out. And at the same time, right, went a step further. I want to make this as easy as possible for y'all. It also has a tab for playlists. Now, if you click on playlists, I have a Sistah Talk podcast playlist. Now, you click on this Sistah Talk podcast playlist, and that'll open up literally every episode, season 1 through season 4 that we ever recorded on this podcast. It'll open it up so you can see it. Now, furthermore, I was told it was an issue with notifications. There is when you pull up any video, it's a bell signal. When you click on that bell, it should give you an option to subscribe or turn on notifications. And basically, once you turn those notifications on, it'll alert you. As soon as you go into the app, it'll say Tierra Arrington posted a new video. Now, to reiterate, episodes come out every Monday at 8 p.m. provided that your sister isn't crazy busy. Sometimes I get a little posted at like 11 p.m., but we try our best to get it out at 8 p.m. But either way, it comes out on Monday, regardless of what time it gets posted. But Mondays at 8 p.m., check back with me. We also got a broadcast channel on Instagram. So if you're not a part of that broadcast channel, send me a little DM, send me a little text message. I'll send y'all a link and add y'all to that group. Because like I said, I try to make it as easy as possible. I just post a link there. If you want me to put you in a text group, let me know. I'll text y'all a link every week. I want y'all to be able to see this episode. Listen, and a lot of you all, are guilty of, in your words, not mine, of not, liking or commenting on the video. That channel, or I don't know. Listen, if you got a thought, type it while you're looking, okay? That's my feedback on that. Or call me. Listen, a lot of people just call me and talk to me about the episode. Eventually, once I get more comfortable with my setup and everything like that, I do plan to go live and stream live directly to YouTube or, to some platform. So you all can have that, back and forth dialogue with me while it's live. So I do plan to do that. But in the meantime, please, just subscribe and turn on those notifications so you get alerted every Monday at 8 p.m. when the episode drops. But thank you all for tuning into another episode of the Sistah Talk podcast. Listen, last episode did numbers, and I am so grateful it's still going up as we speak. These are the most numbers I ever got on any episode, so I am so excited about it. But thank you all for everybody who supported, like, shared, comment. Thank you all for just, letting me reach this goal and continue to support me. So I'll continue to give you everything that you want. Send me stories. Send me stuff that you want me to talk about. I'm open to everything. I'm here for y'all. Let's talk about it, okay? So thank you all for tuning into another episode of the Sistah Talk podcast. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at goldchain__diva, and that's on all platforms. So I hope you all have an amazing week and get y'all rest, okay? Because your sister is drinking coffee. Your sister is drinking coffee at 8:45 at night because your sister's tired. I need a nap. So get y'all rest this week. That's my message for y'all. Get your rest. Everybody say rest. Get your rest. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in.